if you could talk a little bit about what dream incubation is.
Dream incubation is a very old technique in which people ask their dream a question before they go to sleep in order to have a helpful dream answer. And it comes back in almost any tradition around the world, from African shamanism to the old Asclepian tradition in Greece, in the Islam. I've even read also the Dalai Lama talked about how you can ask your dream for support and guidance, and that is possible. In any spiritual tradition you go to, there's some way that people have noticed, hey, if I engage with the dream, there is support in it, and dream incubation is the technique to do that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And you've been studying different cultures and their methods of dream incubation. Can you talk a little bit more about what you found?
Yeah, and I actually really first started just testing it myself and with my sister, with whom I have a great relationship, and we were playing around with what kind of questions can you ask, and how do you ask it, and what does trigger an answer, and if you didn't get an answer, what would be why could that be? So I built up first and kind of an idea myself before I started studying all these other traditions. And once I've done that, I started to travel to Greece and Africa and Asia and South America to talk with people that work with dreams, to see how do you work with dreams, and especially what are your ways of engaging proactively with the dream for support. And I found somewhat a pattern in it that I tested myself and with the clients and people in my workshops. And then I came to this 5-step process that anyone can apply who would love to have some support in life and ask your dream a question.
What kinds of dreams are there? How would you classify dreams?
Well, that's a huge question, because you could look at Native Americans distinguish between little dreams and big dreams. Mm-hmm. And little dreams were the day-to-day dreams that have to do really with your personal life, and then the big dreams would be either dreams on behalf of the tribe, or really impactful dreams for your life that would usually also influence the people around you. In other traditions, you would say there's very much an overlap between personal elements and collective elements. Mm-hmm. And they co-create a dream world. And then there are dreams like somewhat prophetic dreams that seem to indicate what happens in the future, or nightmare dreams, or dreams that provide guidance, or is just kind of a transmission of insight. Other dreams just display your emotional state of the day. Mm-hmm. So there's a whole range of different manifestations that you could dream about.
And what are your thoughts on say nightmare dreams? What do you make of those?
Nightmare dreams are, of course, anxiety dreams, and very often indicate too much or too little anxiety. And it's almost always too much anxiety for, I feel like I need to do, I'm tested at work, and then at once I'm back at high school or college days where I need to do an exam and I can't find a room and I'm running around. And that is a reflection of your own mind, describing actually just describes you perceive the world, just like in those days where you were tested, and it is you experienced a lot of fear, probably too much fear. So you can do a certain meditative technique of bringing yourself down, or going into the dream state and sensing into different states of consciousness that are in the dream that help you to slow down. And so, or the classic example that a burglar climbs into the house. It's almost always that something in our own psyche wants to participate, but we, the ego, find it scary and keep it away. And by us keeping it away, it starts turning dark. and then it slowly becomes a nightmare.
We talked a little bit before we came on about lucid dreaming, and I just want to know if you have anything you want to share about what that is and what your thoughts are about it.
Lucid dreaming are dreams in which you know that you're dreaming. Mm-hmm. And so you're actually, it's an awareness practice. And we can use it for many things. First of all, just fun. You can fly around, mm-hmm. You can meet attractive people, whatever you want. You can eat a great cake, you can drive a car of your liking. But the more interesting points come in personal development or growth, where you, for example, can yell out, "Is there anyone with a message for me?" And then usually someone will come to you and with a message for you, mm-hmm. Or you can ask for an experience. A while ago, I said, I would love to experience unconditional love. And I was zapped in a state of unconditional love. Was there maybe for a minute, and then it ended. Mm-hmm. And so we can ask for experiences. And that's another part, or insight, or wisdom, or even healing. Mm-hmm. And then beyond it, what you is easiest to see when lucid is that how the dream world gets created. Mm-hmm. So if I have that thought of the critical boss, the boss will come in. If I think in the dream I can step through the wall, I can. If I believe I can't, I can't. Mm-hmm. So the dream world responds to expectation. Mm-hmm. And so you learn these how does expectation actually work? And a quick example is, once I was lucid in a dream, I was running and I was like, hey, this must be a dream. And I stood in front of a house and with also a stone wall. And I thought, can I push through the wall? Which I could. And I could just even feel the stones around my arm. And I was like, yeah, of course, because I believe I can push through the wall. But what if I now don't want to be able to get my arm out of the wall? Will it keep stuck? But I could very easily pull my arm out of the wall, mm-hmm. which gave me the idea that willpower is really important. Mm-hmm. Yet expectation overrides willpower. Because I expect, I can. If I had not expected it, I would be stuck. Mm-hmm. And that is also how this reality works. Because if I have an expectation that people don't like me, I start behaving in a certain way that actually triggers that reality around me, by which people more often start not liking me. Mm-hmm. And I can, as a willpower, as a therapist, I know that willpower doesn't solve my expectation, because that lies deeper. So mm-hmm. I can say, oh, I need to not want that. No, I need to work on the expectation and bring expectation maybe up from sometimes they don't like me, or they sometimes like me a little. Mm-hmm. And I can change the expectation by which actually my world starts changing because of my own internal expectation model. And that is how you in the dream can see how, and this is just one example of how expectation co-creates reality, how there are these reality creating principles that build up the dream, and that this world is created in the same way as the dream world. It's just more dense.
I hope you enjoyed this clip from the latest episode of the Sacred Stream radio podcast. If you'd like to see the full version of this interview, you can pop over to our Sacred Stream YouTube channel and watch it there. You can also download and listen to the audio version of the podcast anywhere you get your podcasts. And please remember to like and subscribe to the channel to support the podcast. It really helps us reach a wider audience.